Granted, you were cut off by music, but welcome to Alumni Night! Okay. Thank you. Okay, I am so excited for this evening. This is one of my favorite nights of the year with Skyline drama. And it's always fun because we're going to kick it off with a Skyline Slam feature by our very own team, who I am immensely proud of. They have produced incredible work this year and will continue to. So first up, we are going to have a piece by Gwen McConkie, and a fun fact about Gwen is that she once confused her snails for gummy worms. Okay.
I cry for my sister like an oak tree dripping its sap. Slowly, a picture of her on campus sits in my eyes, and amber tears can only try to wash it out. As the tears fill my mouth, I can't help but think about her leaving. Her friends, her apartment. With those tears, I try my best to wash away the parts of me that still think of her. The parts of me that still hurt for her. The parts of me that long for her tender hugs and cherry kisses. There had to be something I could have done to make her stay. I never wanted to say goodbye. Goodbye has turned into the worst word I know. When we said goodbye, I felt my branches begin to shake, my roots coming up from the ground. There had to be something I could have done to make her stay. Her and I could be buried together. Her a cherry tree and I an oak tree, and together we could watch our seasons change. At night, her and I are together. We are playing Who Can Stay Up Till 8 o'clock in the morning, a game neither of us have ever won, no matter how much caffeine we try to drink. And I can see those kind eyes, and they can see me right back. And I feel those tender hugs and those cherry kisses, but when I open my eyes, she's not there. In the daytime, those cherry kisses seem so foreign to me, and I can't see those kind eyes. She means everything to me. She means tender hugs, cherry kisses, and a comforting shoulder. She means Cardi B on the way to school, an addiction to Diet Coke that I'll never understand, and first kiss Frosties. I cry just like an oak tree because she means everything to me. Thank you. The next we have Chris, and Chris once broke her wrist by giving a high five.
A letter from Stress. Dear Marionette, I hear that you are struggling. Well, baby, I'm here to help. I will handle your problems, the math tests, the essays. I'm a puppeteer and you are my puppet. Your legs don't shake unless I tell them to. Your lungs won't breathe unless I tell them to. Your sweat-glazed hands won't stop digging your nails into your palm unless I tell them to. My strings hold you to my high standards, cutting off the circulation to your hands, creating a red ring engraved into your wrists. But it's okay, I love you. And I know you love me because when you were taking your math final, your heart beat faster than a hummingbird's wings, blurring the algebra on the screen, the X's and Y's switching spots like a tangle of puppet strings, spelling out your parents' disappointment. How they will no longer believe in you. The unfavored daughter, no longer a real girl, just a mess of string and wood left on the floor of the classroom. Everyone turning in their desks looking at the pile of sticks lying there. Your heart drums faster than any human eye can see, feeling your heart press against your chest. Your ribs are like bars, which hold you in the prison that is your own body. Trapping you in your room at 11:50, finishing the U.S. history essay due at midnight. You are so exhausted and just need a second to lie down. But there I am keeping you awake, telling you that if you fall asleep, your assignment will be late. No more theater for you, no more slam poetry. Now how are you supposed to get a 10 on a poem if you can't even be there for the competition? My strings wrap around you until you suffocate. But baby, I'm only keeping you safe. You need me. I'm your motivation, and you wouldn't be able to do anything without me. Remember when you were terrified to figure out your high school schedule? You weren't thinking about it until I decided to stop by. I reminded you that if you don't get that schedule in soon, then you won't get your credits in and you won't graduate. Then no college will accept you. People say it's easy, so what will they say when you can't do it? Supposedly a smart girl, but really just a hollow block of wood. My words pound the walls of your skull to be your true best self. That's all I want, baby, to bind you with my love. You are wound in my everlasting knot, showing you that I'm going to be with you until the day you are gone. I'm the one who ties the knot in your stomach. I pull and pull as the strings tighten around you, squeezing all your silly free time and anxiety-free thoughts and feelings out of you, making you efficient, making you my puppet. XOXO stress.
And next up, we have Leah, who once laughed so hard she shot peach out of her nose.
Yeah.
Oh, peach.
No. I wholeheartedly believe that it's the cutest thing about me. I struggle with this next time. Great. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm memorized on this, but I make no promises that my phone will not be hacked. Woo! Okay. An ode to living with illness, or the Chicago mob scene. These are the backroom dealings of the 1930s, speakeasies and Chicago alleys, air made thick with smoke and hospital disinfectant that reeks of surrender, where my organs become an X-ray map of winding streets and corner signs labeled "sick girl." This is where my father tells me that I might not have college in me, and for a moment the city stops in its tracks. These streets spatter pinstripe suits with blood like tears hitting car upholstery, but for a moment I think that the wind was knocked out of them too. He says that it's not for lack of intelligence, but I've been sick too long to count the bullet holes. I've been the crime scene of a fainting girl one too many times, closed meetings and open streets run on different rules. To believe that I could handle both would be a Bugsy Siegel ruse against ourselves. I have to give up and face that I am no Frank Costello, with a body built to burn out faster than a cigar and organs turned revolvers in a game of roulette. I should be proud that I have made it this far. But he says I shouldn't get my hopes up. I'm carrying bad checks and lifted bonds made out to education. I'm a little girl playing mobsters when I was born into a temperance body to picket against myself. I'm a sick girl, he says. And it seems like that's the clear-cut end. But no turf war was ever settled that easily. If all I had were my health, I'd be broken cufflinks spattered in blood, chalk outline of a cold case body instead of smoking gun girl who is very much alive, raised to be a midnight massacre so that they'd never see me coming. Determination never looked so much like staring down the barrel of a Tommy gun diagnosis, packing textbooks for ER visits. I have toughened up against baseball bat blows from worse threats than Al Pacino. I will not give up and play victim to my victories, even if it means that I have to sleep with doctors on speed dial to keep horsehead nights at bay. I will not take the fall for this bad craps role of a body. I will not let hospitals play Alcatraz to me if it means that I have to shovel through bedrock doubt for the rest of my life. I'll be memorialized in 5 and dime movies as the one who made it out. My own urban legend, born of pulp fiction and rumors never spoken louder than whispers. My father only thinks that I don't have college in me because he forgot that I've been playing the Bugs Moran to my own Al Capone all along. And I've made it this far.
I take the 215 eastbound belt route on my drive home. It has sharp turns and varying speed limits parallel to my breathing during panic attacks. I think of how the seconds feel like minutes, and the minutes feel like days, how every day I wish the next is the last. I fantasize the sick thought of how easy it would be if I just let go of the steering wheel and let my body eject from the driver's seat. Because this feeling has grown heavier than a 4,000-pound car. It suffocates me like an airbag and splits my stomach in two with a seatbelt that I wonder why I still put on. And then I remember how my mother's mother died. She didn't put her seatbelt on. She fell asleep at the wheel, her body fell out of the door and graced God's touch. God didn't save her. He didn't remind her to put her seatbelt on. He didn't wake her up. God left her children without a mother, but decided to save me from crashing my own car into cement. God didn't give her a second chance to live, so why did he give me one? He's given me borrowed time I shouldn't be using, the time it takes to change your mind, 2.3 seconds to react, 5.4 seconds to bring 70 miles per hour down to 0. The speedometer isn't going down. I'm not pressing the brake. I'm not steering the wheel. Instead, I'm becoming a bystander to the crime scene I fantasized for the past 3 years. 3 years of taking fluoxetine in the morning, 2 years of therapy, and 1 year of denial. 2.3 seconds to react, a split-second decision to not kill myself. But I killed the innocent little girl I used to be, who had panic attacks about death and couldn't understand why anyone would ever take their own life. I should have died that night. My parents should have opened the door to an unknown face with eyes that reflected my mother's disbelief and lips that spoke the words every parent fears. I'm so sorry for your loss. They wouldn't have known it wasn't an accident. They wouldn't have blamed themselves for the pain that's been passed down from generations before me, but here I am, a dead girl in the body of a coward, too scared to end it all. And I don't know if I should ask for more in my IV or try and pull the plug again. If I have the strength to ask for help. Because it's easier to say I'm just tired than I don't want to wake up anymore. So tonight, I will take that eastbound belt route and I will make the same decision to not end it all tonight. I'll make it till the next night. I'll think of my grandmother. I won't be selfish tonight. I will tear down that white flag. And maybe in those 2.3 seconds, I'll decide that I'm better off breathing, even if I don't think I deserve it.
And finally, we have a piece from our very own lovely Maggie Chamness, who on her audition form for the team this year wrote, "What about it?" where we asked for her weight. That's pretty good.
I would like to add that I also did that for my height. I don't know, I know that there's a few new faces, but slam poetry is an art form that demands immediate validation, and I am an artist that demands immediate validation. So, something that you can do during a poem, if you like it, you can snap, if you like to be pretentious, you can stomp, if you like to be loud, everyone knows I'm a big fan of the moan, if I like what people are saying, oh, that's, you can say push. Just don't be shy, guys. I know that we only have 2 poems left, but yeah, but this is pandering for you guys to like my poem, so that's okay.
After Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Growing up, Buffy was my everything. I would cuddle up with a cup of hot cocoa and fall into this world where magic was real and pretty girls who exclusively wore colored pleather pants could be whoever they wanted to be. When I watched the season 2 finale, I cried in ways I've never cried before and I've never cried since. Bangel forever. As I got older, however, I started to realize some of it might not actually be as real as I thought it was. I mean, aside from a guy losing his soul after you sleep with him, there's very little rooted in reality. I mean, an earthquake that causes hell to open up, an under-18 club that people actually went to, the fact that the mayor that turns into a giant snake isn't anywhere near the most absurd storyline should tell you everything you need to know. No, the craziest part is that Sunnydale just moves on every week from teenagers showing up dead in the street, which is crazy to me because America would never just sit and watch teenagers get killed and do nothing about it. We would never just sit and watch our senior class dissipate until only our protagonists survive. We would do more than let a teenage girl fear for her life every day of high school because no one can ward against vampires in a public school. I mean, it says on the front of the building, "Enter all ye who seek knowledge," and some vampires really want to learn, even if they also want to learn what it's like to massacre a graduating class. So really, there was nothing they could do about it. We would do more than tell the public that the sewer lines were just backed up, or that it was a mental illness problem. No, America is nothing like Sunnydale, because in America, we have the right to be vampires. And if Sunnydale shows us anything, it's that not all vampires are evil. Some of them have sexy back tattoos, and enough mommy issues to ask you how your day was. So we can just ignore the 1,581 deaths that happened her senior year. No, America is nothing like Sunnydale. I mean, they got to a point where the media didn't even report on it anymore, because at this point, we can't really keep track of who died where, and I mean, whose fault is it really that vampires are allowed in schools, and movie theaters, and clubs? That's the risk you take for being foolish enough to be a teenager in Sunnydale. And the crazy thing is, you can't even tell which episodes I'm referring to, because just that many kids were slaughtered over the 7 seasons. No, America is nothing like Sunnydale. There are no clubs that glamorize vampires until they are killed by one. No one calls bloodlust a Second Amendment right in America. I didn't fall into an obsession with a TV show from the 90s because I fell in love with the idea that maybe there was someone out there to save me. Someone who saw the fear that existed in their homeroom and they did something about it. In the series finale of Buffy, spoiler alert if you are still working through it 30 years later, Buffy gives every woman that could have the power. But not even she could defeat the Uber Vamps. And I don't know how good a wooden stake is against bullets.
Alright, to finish off the night, we have the group piece. Fun fact about the group, we are all girls, and we capitalized on that. Thank you.
You are cordially invited to the Teen Girl Masquerade.
This is what every Netflix original has prepared you for.
You and your radiant skin will learn to love iceberg lettuce with the dressing on the side.
Glitter makeup is for daily wear?
Boy talk is encouraged.
No.
Mandatory. Because Timothée Chalamet is a total dreamboat.
You'll be listening to pop music in your bubblegum pink Jeep with your best friend Sarah, who's not pretty enough to be a threat.
Pretty.
And yes, there are expectations. One must not remove their carefully crafted mask. Poise looks like doing what you're told.
Naturally, you'll have to make some alterations. You'll have to really own who you are.
The dits.
The tomboy.
The slut.
The smart gal.
And the Visco girl.
But
all
I
I
want
want
to be is
pretty.
and luckily we have just the fix for that. Don't raise your voice indoors.
Or sit with your legs
Don't
apart.
run down hallways.
Because neither is practical in a ball gown.
I try to cover my imperfections with a lace mask that is no more effective than a tea
I'm
doily.
so uncomfortable showing people that I'm smart, I'm loud, like obnoxiously please just shut up loud, but I can't seem to bring myself to raise my hand in class, even though I'll unpromptedly tell you how to make sure your wing dialer is even.
I was taught to bite my tongue.
Before I was 3, my father and grandfather had started telling me that I had to be mentally tough whenever I started to cry. Don't let your issues be external. It makes me so much less desirable.
The thoughts behind the mask should stay stored away, and the tears must never scrape and cut through my perfectly powder-set foundation. I don't look pretty when I cry.
I will complain about something that is causing me emotional pain, and other girls will come up with something worse they went through. A tighter ribbon that leaves a swollen imprint of the poisonous mask that was taken off.
I was taught to tell the truth, but told to keep my feelings to myself.
I want to be the girl who never gets sad. The girl whose energy is unfailing. I must please, so I fake happy.
I taught myself stupid. It is the one thing about me that makes me palatable. With every question mark and I feel my cheekbones rise and my eyelashes grow longer. My stupidity is the closest thing to femininity that I have.
Sometimes I wonder why I seem to live my life on the edge of poisoning my own drink. Why I have such a hard time letting go of things that are harming me, but then again, arsenic friends give the clearest orders.
Don't leave me.
Give me another chance.
Don't tell.
I was raised to follow clear-cut etiquette.
I was taught it's better to be seen than to be heard.
It's better to draw corset strings than unwanted attention.
I've been told that I am intimidating, but at least you're pretty.
Pretty. Pretty.
Pretty.
Pretty.
Pretty.
Okay, thank you so much. We are going to have a short break before our alumni open mic. Thank you. I'm that excited about this.